so mean, Michael. You know what? I'm just gonna be a flying fish. Okay. Yeah, you know what? If there was a pigskin and someone said, when pigs fly, there. Easy.
There are splash barrels there, Archer.
Okay. I don't need them. I'm just gonna eat my own kind. Never mind the boxes. I stole it. What?
Okay, let's not commit cannibalism.
Oh, there you have.
Yeah. Let's get in this car, you know. I'm a bird. I'm a bird.
Later, brother.
All right, and hello, and welcome back to our next Gold League competitors. So, we finished up our first few rounds of our Silver League, and now we are switching over to our Gold League competitors for a few matches, and then we are going to be finishing off with our Plat League contenders to end off our day. But with this new meta brings a new arc for these players, and we'll see exactly who comes out on top. We already see some fights going down here at Fencing Fields. We'll see if we can take a look at that. Maybe. There we go. Pan our way over here to GRZ Creed, who took out Koenig. And we still have Ryan Boy and Unknown AKW, who have also helped out cleaning up this location. And it looks like Greed, they're gonna find some early eliminations here at Fencing Fields and call this location their own. We started off this lobby with so many players, 75 for a total here at the start. And now down to 59 already, so 16 players being eliminated. These supply drops too have gotten so early in these matches, going down almost instantly, and allowing these players to get some decent loot off the start of the match. A slurp barrel to be found here, and it looks like this team has done their research. They figured out a loot path that works for them and will benefit them later on in the match. But 3 eliminations for this team as we start off this match, and there were other fights going down previously, but it looks like they've been cleaned up since. And it looks like 2 of these teams are starting their way over here at Brawler's Battleground, and a fight will be breaking out as a result. Slurpee, Mist, and Chronicle are going to be looking for these fights, but lightning bolts being rained down from above. And shots being taken, shockwaved up in the air. Slurpee's got to be careful here. His teammate Mist is almost eliminated. And Mist will be taken down as they go for some shots with that Wings ability. Slurpee also eliminated. Now Chronicle left all on his own and gonna follow quickly. No, able to find at least 1 elimination, but taken down quickly after. And it's Titles, A-Switch, and Broken to find those eliminations and to crown themselves king of this location. And you'll see some minis, some medkits, some heal items in general being dropped over for these players. Slurp barrels or slurp splashes are back in the meta. And we'll see exactly how these teams utilize those, what heals they decide to take, what weapons they decide to take, and what abilities they decide to take in these matches. With all this new weaponry, we'll see a different change in the meta, especially as we get into our higher level lobbies, our gold and platinum lobbies. We'll see how the meta shifts the gameplay and what teams become dominant or can adapt the quickest, especially with these lightning bolts and wings to use. Panning our way around the map here, we can see maybe a fight breaking out here. Caden the Clown goes down. Bubsy Vader and Noxie, the only 2 players remaining for this squad now, making it a difficult situation for them as they decide to push in here. But maybe finishing off their opponents there. They have 1 elimination. It doesn't seem like this. Oh, there's the players near them. Bubsy Vader spots them out, and it looks like they're looking to get aggressive here as well. Wings picked up, though. And Bubsy will have a little bit of an out here, but shots being taken in fights not going their way. Bubsy Vader taking down very low. Noxy, luckily, able to find that kill onto Lux. And Noxy now looking for that final player of the enemy squad. Boxing up, creating some space between himself and his opponent. And he spots that player up top. Now the lightning bolts will be rained down, but Noxy's got to be careful here. You're stuck in the air when throwing those. And Noxy, as a result, will be taken down. Now Bubsy deciding to just fly out. Doesn't want the fight any longer. Realizes he's at a disadvantage. And is deciding just to rotate out at this point. So difficult situation there for Bubsy as he decides to rotate out of that location. And now we pan our way over to Mount Olympus, where we can see quite a few teams around. A-Switch, Broken, and Titles. They just came out of that Battlegrounds location. They're just going to pass by Mount Olympus. They don't want any fights anymore, and I don't know if they even spotted the team inside there. For now, they're just going to box up and farm up some of these locations. Metal being such an important material no matter what season you're playing in. And Titles, he's got to be careful. Those lightning bolts raining down so quickly, damaging through builds. And Titles already taken low, but he will find the damage in the end. Titles finds one. A-Switch taken out very low as well now. Lightning bolts, it seems like, coming from the sky, doing damage to these players. And you have to be careful in situations like these. And you can see some lightning bolts coming out. Moon Kid, just trying to rotate out, but unfortunately being taken out of the sky. A-Switch, the one to do it. And this team will find themselves another 3 eliminations. Now we'll take a look over towards this northern portion of... hello and welcome back to our second and final match of our Gold League contenders for our third week of the Spring Split presented by XP League. Again, I am your host, Cody, or Code Red, and we will be covering the gameplay of these talented players as they face off against each other during this new season, and with all this new loot in the game, like the wings that Kenichiwa just put into his inventory. So, with this new season, with this new meta, we've seen a lot of adaptations come out of these players. It's really difficult to be able to just box up and turtle your way throughout the zones. Rather, with the new lightning, you are forced out in the open. You are forced to take these fights a lot more often. You have to put multiple layers between you and these enemy teams even to have a chance at covering up. If you are put low on HP, these players will capitalize on that, especially with this new mythic weapon. And a lot of these players are able to pick it up. It's not very rare. A lot of teams have been utilizing it throughout the last few matches, and we'll see what fights we can cover as we get into this one. So, this is our spread of players for this match. You can see them throughout the entire match, but it seems like there's a few fights we need to cover here in the middle, and Lucid Thug is looking low, looking on the back foot here. Forced into a corner, it seems, and Lucid Thug, out of the air, is taken down. Aaron Noodles is the one to do it, along with Blinksy and Cashy Boy. These players are looking to continue their dominance here, looking to continue to aggress on these players. Shots coming out, lightning bolts flying their way. And we talked about that. You cannot box up against these lightning bolts. The only chance you have at some of these fights is making them waste them early on and then being able to capitalize on the result later on. But Noodles, he'll show us exactly how to win these fights. And you'll see that Kraken shield going through the box there to able to find that damage. You can't cover up nearly as much as you used to be able to. And now Noodles trying to put some aggression onto Captain Whiskers here with these wings. And even the wings seem overpowered at this point. Look how much damage they do. And Noodles, though, getting a bit too aggressive here, jumps his way into the box of one of these players, and Whiskers, as a result, is able to find that damage. But eventually, Cashy Boy is able to use those lightning bolts to take him out. And again, find these eliminations. So we see how these teams adapt again and again, using those wings to follow their opponents and to find these eliminations. And maybe Cashy Boy even testing out some of the weapons there, trying to figure out what works best for him. And that's what a lot of these games are about today, testing out, experimenting what you like best in this match, what weapons that fit your meta the best. What weapons are the most overpowered right now, and obviously Lightning Bolt being one of them. We'll see exactly what Cashy Boy and Blinksy can do later on in this match, but it looks like they're going to be tested here again. Shots coming in. Cashy Boy could have been a hero there, but instead is not able to do the damage, and Blinksy, I think he's going to be eliminated as a result. 2 HP remaining, and shots coming through. Damage is dealt, and Blinksy is taken out. That lightning bolt again and again. It doesn't allow players to box up. It doesn't allow players to have a little bit of time in between these fights. The whole aspect of building has been reworked, and as a result, this lightning bolt just does so much damage. No longer can you put a little bit of area between yourself and your opponents. Instead, you're forced out in the open. And so many of these players being eliminated. As a result, again, Cashy Boy, so much damage done to him. And he's going to be eliminated by CNH Gamer and those lightning bolts. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I feel like a broken record repeating myself at this point. But the lightning bolts are just such an overpowered weapon in this meta. These players are just learning how to play around it at this point, or trying to play around it at this point, in whatever way they can. Taking a look back at the map here, we can see more fights going down. We'll go to the downed player, because that usually means there's a fight going on nearby, and it's Kenichiwa, Shadow, and Zero Strike, who we saw earlier in this match. they look to be like they're in some trouble here. As Konichiwa is taken down, left onto Shadow in zero strike. And we'll see what they can do if they can find that snipe shot to give them the opening in this fight. Or even using some of the new items to give them a little bit of the advantage. But at this point, Shadow is taken down. RW is the one to find it. And this is going to mean almost certainly a fight for zero strike. And yeah, he's trying to get out of this box. He's trying to evade these fights. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do so for very long. Without the wings, without any utility to move on from the fight, he will be eliminated in 2 a.m. RWX and Squidzer will find those eliminations and bring their count up to at least 3 now. Yet another fight going down here. DLR Steamy taken out by Creed. Ryan Boy, an unknown. This team racking up a few eliminations. We see a lot more fights, I feel like, early on in these matches. Teams being a lot more confident to take them and win them, especially when they have these new abilities in their inventory or in their utility belt. So many of these teams starting to fight early on in these matches, leading to so many eliminations, or so many more eliminations that we're used to early on. Michael Duddy, he's in the chat for a 1 as well. And Blink, Michael Duddy, and Crossbow are just looking for some shots with those lightning bolts. You can see them being used over and over again. And really, I feel like one of the best counters to these may be the snipers. Being able to peek out from an angle they aren't expecting. But as I say that, Michael Duddy goes down. And Zero may be the killer of that player. But there's going to be builds placed in front of him. And for now, he might get that res off. Soccer, Zero, and Briston all trying maybe to get into this little vault down here. Or at least Soccer Fan is trying to. And I believe you have to be with all your teammates to try and get inside, so it seems like Soccer Fan is not going to be able to do so at this point. It's having a little bit of difficulty there. Oh no, it eventually drops. He's able to get in. Placing some walls behind him. You'll see these crown chests down here at the bottom. Some upgrades, some shotguns to be found. Gold SMGs. It seems like the loot pool is just so good this season. So much loot to be found. So many gold, purple weapons to be in the inventory. And so many weapons that can do damage in general. Especially like those mythics that we've been seeing all day. Taking a look back at the map here. Maybe panning our way over to a fight. AGCUI is taken down. And Fetch and Vertex aren't looking like they're in the best of situations. A lightning bolt to be picked up by Fetch if he wants to play with it. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you pick up such an overpowered weapon that's going to give you such a good advantage in these fights? Seems like AG Fetch, he realizes that. He's going to look for that elimination maybe and try and help out his teammate who looks to be in some trouble over here. Shots being taken, but damage is not done. Vertex just above these players, and I don't think they recognize that he's here, so he's able to evade them for now. And those players will start to push into his teammate. And Fetch might be tested here. Especially as these players are down below. That's Greed, that's Ryan, that's Unknown. For now, Fetch, he will survive, he'll stay alive in the match. And maybe they'll look for that reboot card onto CUI. Try to get him back in this game. Soccer Fan, we saw him earlier, they were getting the vault in the center, but taken down. And now it's going to be on to Briston and Zero Mech to find these eliminations. Shots being taken, and I think Briston ran out of... But even with all that loot in this location, they're looking low on HP. There's a 50 pot left behind there, but I don't know if Briston recognized that. We'll switch our way over here to Killer Black Belt, to Cambot, to Lux. We're looking around this location. They see a player maybe rotating out now. And I really think those snipers are going to be so useful when it comes to finding these eliminations. Especially on these lightning bolts. If you can use them effectively and not be spotted out. Find an angle that they aren't looking at. Just find that headshot. You can find these eliminations easier because they're held still in the air with those lightning bolts. Now Squidzer, RWX, they're in a difficult situation and they're going to be taken down. Trapped in a corner. And forced to fight. Flu here, Bryce, and Bruno will find those eliminations. And bring their tally up to 5. Looking back at the map here. See quite a few players remaining still 32. Almost double the amount that we had last match at this time. It seems like teams are adjusting. Teams are realizing how to play this. They're starting to play a bit more passive, especially with the addition of the lightning bolt. They don't know exactly what to expect with that weapon. And one player that has to play passive, that can't really look for a lot of this aggression, is Mist. As Slurpee and Chronicle have been eliminated, Mist needs to look for this reboot. But he doesn't want to be caught out before he can get it off, and especially after. So now working his way into this train station. We'll see if he can find that extra little bit of loot. And he gets the wings off of it. So now he can rotate out. Now we can look for that reboot a little bit easier and Mist. Maybe rotating over to his other teammate's reboot card here. Seems like that's what he's looking for. Chopping down through the builds and he's going to be able to find it there. And more fights going down throughout the map here. Maybe Bubsy Vader, Caden the Clown, and Noxy in a fight here. Bubsy is able to find it onto 1. And giving them the opening they might need in this fight. Noxy. Caden. Trying to take some of these fights. And they're stuck down below for now. Pushing over to Caden though. He's got some high ground. He's looking for some shots. Bouncing up above. He has the shockwave to do so. And now just breaking into the box here. Chopping it down. Caden sprays inside and finds the elimination onto 1. And that's Bryce going down, but Caden falls to Flu. And Noxy and Bubsy Vader as a duo. They have a tall task in front of them. But they're looking to trap this player down below, and they're going to try to get the res on to Caden before this player can join back up with them. A double res indeed, and Flu, he's stuck down below. He's stuck in these builds, and a tall task for him now, as both of his teammates have been eliminated. It doesn't look like he's in the best of positions, but using these right hand peaks to his advantage. Shots not initially landing, but does find the crack onto 1. Finds the damage onto 1. Finds the damage onto 2. Finds another shot for so much damage. And just can't pull it through. Noxy so narrowly eliminated there. Only 100 HP remaining. And Caden the Clown and Bubsy Vader both go down in that fight. A great attempt from Flu. But unfortunately, just falls a little bit short. Taking a look back at the map here, looking around exactly where these players could be. We have Legend Up and Grandma Pookie, who are looking not the greatest at the moment. Pookie running away, dodging with those wings, taking the zipline eventually as well. And Legend Up has been eliminated. You'll see that launch pad also being popped by Pookie. and just trying to rotate around the edge of this zone, trying to get to a place where they are more comfortable being. And with his 2 teammates being eliminated now, that narrows that down a lot more. We pan our way over here to Creed, Unknown, and Ryan, who look to be just jamming out on the top of this mountain. They have that launch pad to work with. And really no sense in rushing anything at this point. And then Super Senior, Lucid, and Skibbity down below, just a duo here. But they're going to find a little bit of chip damage on these players. I think one of them dropped down on accident. Switching our way over here to CNH Gamer Logan. And big, huge Colt. As Logan is rezzed. Seems like they might be, or might have been in a fight. With 6 eliminations, they found 2 squads and eliminated them relatively quickly at this point. And Logan, that medallion, just gonna heal up his white HP and bring him up a little bit higher.